Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing the LED on my Suzuki GSX-S1000. You're probably asking, Richard, didn't you install LED lights last year? And I'm going to tell you, yes. Actually, I installed a couple pairs in some of my bikes. I did some ones for the VFR that were help to dissipate the heat by using fans, and I also installed a fanless on my GSX-S1000. But this year, CoLight, which actually provided some of the lights that I installed last time, they actually came up with a new product they wanted me to test, which I'm super grateful for. So they are promising that not only these ones are now fanless, but they're also promising that they are going to be brighter. So there's a few specs that I'll share with you. These are H4s that will go straight to your harness on your GSX-S1000 without having to cutting or splice any cables. And even though they are going to look different, I'm pretty sure they're gonna fit, and we're just gonna try and test it today. So for context, I will go ahead and take a look at these lights. These are H7s, so they might look, the connection is going to look a little bit different, but in terms of the light and the shape, and we can always recognize these are, of course, they allow to have a lower or smaller body because there's a fan kind of helping to dissipate the heat. But essentially, you see the body, you see the taps and whatever when they're going to be connecting to your bike, and then the cables, and then the actual connection. Like I mentioned, these are H7. So just for reference, this is how a normal LED look like, and which is, kind of similar stuff that you are used to see. Now I'm gonna show you how this new model looks like. So you can probably tell these are massive. Not only they're massive, look at this right next to the other option. Like, this is insane. Like, I love how much they look. So this new design, they're expecting to be able to provide a lot more light. And you can tell that there's no whole lot of difference, in terms of, the LEDs. I think it's about double or maybe the same size, but maybe with a single one. But then of course it has this own reflection, plus this which looks like or almost simulates or the type of housing you get in front of your headlights. So there's a few things that I like to mention here that are going to be part of the installation today. Things that I like. This is heavy, and not heavy in a bad way, but heavy in terms of like this feels sturdy. I like it a lot. Something that I like, this is your H4 connection, which is going to be the connection that you're going to need for your Suzuki GSX-S1000. I love this, the fact that you can actually remove the cable right now, and of course it's not going to come out easily because you have some way to secure it with a thread that's just going to go in and make sure that this connection is not going to come apart. But this is great because when you're installing the light, you don't have to worry about carrying these or having these hanging on the cable, which this is an awesome idea. In addition to that, there's something that I'm super excited about, which is this. So you're always, when you're installing your LEDs, you're going to be looking for these taps just to make sure they are matching the taps on the housing of your light. But in some cases, like if I were to put it like this, you'll see that probably the lights are going to end up kind of on this side. So this bolt right here is going to allow you to not only to do this and orient the light in a way that matches the direction of the light, even this is independent, I guess, from the way the taps are going to be located in the nest of your housing on your bike. So this is great. Last thing that I'm going to praise CoLight for doing, which I haven't seen other manufacturers doing, and I apologize if maybe it's me that I don't know, but I actually got super excited about this, is the fact that I can actually remove the heatsink. Why is this important? This is important because if you were to look at and compare this size to this one, I need space so I can use the mechanism in order to hold the light down, and I need space to maneuver and be able to put it somewhere. So with this out of the way, it's much easier just to hold the light in place and actually position it in a way, and once I'm ready to put it, then I can just go back, screw it, and at that point we should be good to go. So now let's just go ahead and install it on the bike. If you have watched my videos in the past, you already know how to do this, but I'm just gonna share this just in case and for reference. You're going to be needing a 4mm hex, and this is gonna be helping you to remove these 2 bolts. Okay, with those out of the way, you're just gonna grab this and then put your fingers underneath it and pull. With that out of the way, now you're going to go ahead and remove these 2 hexes, which are also 4mm. Just gonna start both, and then I'll do it by hand because it's actually easier. Okay. And with the bolts removed, you're going to be pulling the headlight forward. In my specific case, my bike is so low that when I put the actual headlight down, it scratches my fender. So what I'm going to do is just put a rack in here. We'll see how this is gonna come handy in a second. And something that I like to do is just to pull this out. And when you're pulling out, the easiest for me, and better now so I can show it to you guys, is actually twist it. And when you twist it, I can put it like this, and I can easily just work on this without having to worry about being able to, like, working from the side. I can just have it all in front of me. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is to find the connection so I can free this up. And I had it, in here inside that hole. So I'm just gonna disconnect it. And now I have this out of the way. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this to expose the light. And this is probably a good time for me to go ahead and remove the seal, which you have to do and make sure that you put on the next one. With that out of the way, now I'm going to bring you closer, and the first thing you're going to do is take this clip out of this so that you can remove the light. So I'm just going to push down, and then now that came up, and I'm just going to go ahead, bring this to the back, and you'll see that whole thing just came out. I'm just going to rotate so I can free it up. And now the light just came out. Okay, so now I installed the headlight or the light, I guess, the LED light, and I'm just gonna confirm what is the orientation on here. So I'm just gonna bring the orientation to where I want it, and now that I have it where I want it, which is parallel to the ground, I'm just gonna bring it back again. Oops. And I'm just gonna pull it again. And now with the correct orientation, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to tighten the bolt. That way, this is not gonna slip. Okay. Now you can see the bolt is all the way and I'm no longer able to move the body. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull this again. I have the final position and I'm just gonna install it. Okay, we have matching location on the 3 pins, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this down. So that means that the headlight or light is actually positioned and in place. You can forget about the heatsink, so we're just gonna install the heatsink once again. Now that we have the position, and we're just gonna screw it on the body of the light. So now with the heatsink on, I'm gonna go ahead and install the seal. And remember, these are going to the bottom in case there's water or anything, condensation. Condensation is gonna allow it to, go down the bottom. And we knew from last time that, like, same as the one before, not just because this is super big, it's never gonna be able to fit the same way it was when you had the original light bulb, but you can still make it fit. And there's area in here for, this heat dissipation. Now you're going to be installing this cable. You'll see that gap or edge, and there's corresponding one on the other side. So you're just gonna find that, install it, and now you're just gonna go all the way, pass this over and screw it so you can bring the 2 cables together. Now they are all together. So now this is the time where I'm just gonna go ahead and rotate the light. or the actual headlight assembly. Okay, so let's rotate this right now. And now I'm just gonna bring it forward a little bit. And this process is gonna look very similar to the process before, where we just need to find the harness from the light. We're just gonna look for the bike's connector, which is this one. I'm just gonna connect it in here, plug and play, no cutting, no splicing. Now that it's connected, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did before. So what I did was to put this out of the way by routing this through the back of like this plate in the back. And I'm gonna see if I can also fit this one like I did on the last one. So okay, so after playing with this for a second, I realized that yeah, I can actually make it go all the way in the back like I did with the previous one. So I have now the module as well as the connector in the back of the frame, which is how I did it last time. Okay, so now with the cable and the remote behind the plate of the plastic plate, now I can install the bolt. Okay, I'm gonna start by hand. This process is reverse of the disassembly process. And now, before I put the final piece, I want to take a look at the bike from afar and take a quick look and see if the headlight is actually working and oriented in the right way. Awesome. So it looks pretty straight. I like that. And okay, I think it looks good. Let me just turn it off, put the final pieces, and we should be good to go. So there you have it. If I wasn't actually working on the bike while recording a video, I would have probably done that in less than 15 minutes. So that's a heck of an update, you know, to your bike that might not look like a lot until you turn it out at night. People can actually see it, and it looks this. I don't know, it gives kind of a different flavor to the way you look at it, the headlight and different from when you had the original kind of incandescent light versus, you know, having this full body, looks more like a type of like halogen, that type of like assembly, but then you have the benefits of the LED. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm just gonna be posting a little bit of how the light dissipates at night so you can see everything. So take a look at that right now. Enjoy this video. Please share it with people that might benefit from this. If you want to get in contact with me about how to get these CoLight lights, you know, for you and for your bike, just let me know. They come in different flavors, but as of right now, this is the H4, the one that you can use for GSX-S1000. So I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe if you want to see more stuff in the future, and thank you again for watching.